And then he decided to transition, and he became a female and started going by July Justine Shelby. Is that right?
Yes.
And Miss Shelby said, I don't want to go to a male prison. I want to go to a female prison.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to do a reaction on prisoners being transgender women. Prisoners, is it prisoners or are they called inmates? Okay, well we'll just call them inmates. Trans women inmates who are biological male who are being transferred to women's prison in California. We're going to talk specifically about California. I think they're being transferred in other states as well, but I'm specifically going to focus on the California state prison system here. And the fact that we have males, biological males, being put in women's prison. And so I have some really great clips to show you because I'm just very shocked that this isn't more prominent within the news media. Well, I guess I'm not shocked. They don't talk about anything that's important. And that being said, and they don't tell the truth. So there's this great, I want to give a shout out to this great site called the Independent Women's Forum, IWF. It's on YouTube, and I'll put a link to it here because I'm going to use some of the videos that they have produced, which are really well produced. And they talk to actual women inmates. One, who has been released. I think both of them have been released, but their experiences in the women prison while trans women, biological males, were transferred to the prison while they were there. And the insanity that came when those males were transferred to a woman's prison. It is, I can't even believe I'm actually having this conversation. It's so absurd and insane. Now, before we move forward, I just want to let you know that I spent like a week in jail once. I'm laughing because it was insane. And I was actually in a woman's prison because it was prior to my transition here in Los Angeles. And it was not fun and it was not okay. And it was pretty rough. But I have to tell you this. There were no men in the prison, okay? And I can't even imagine being in that space. You're cramped in, it's small, it's horrible, it's insane. It's not fun. It's its own world, let me just tell you. There's rules and regulations and all kinds of stuff. But it's with women. When you pluck a man in a situation, I don't care that it's a trans woman. I don't care. They're still male. I'm still female. When you put a man in that situation, all hell is going to break loose, especially when the males are still intact physically with their genitalia and possibly not even taking hormones. This is absurd, people. So anyway, I don't want to make this too long, but even though I think this is one of the most important pieces that I have done, honestly, I just feel so disgusted. So this first one, and before I move forward, I just want to again, thank you so much. It's been amazing. This whole thing has been just amazing for me. I very much enjoy doing this. I do. And it's hard to do the research and to see these things, and it makes me frustrated. But I really do appreciate that you see what we're doing here. And this is our channel, and just building this for information so that people can see. Some people probably don't even know this is happening. So, you know, by liking and subscribing and commenting and getting these pieces out, it's really helping this channel get to be seen by people that I really do think need to see it. And it helps me, you help me be able to make these videos, okay? So thanks so much. And so now I'm gonna just sit down. Seriously, if you're not, sit down, because this is unbelievable. So here we go. I'm gonna bring up this first one, and this is an actual prison guard who resigned after all of this nonsense. So watch this.
I was working at Richard J. Donovan Correctional Facility, which is a male institution.
California has passed legislation allowing transgender inmates in the state's correctional facilities to be assigned housing based on their gender identity.
That's when the males started, by the numbers, identifying themselves as females, to the point where we were now giving them transgender identification cards so that they can purchase female products at the canteen, such as muumuus, makeup, bras, tampons.
In September, California Governor Gavin Newsom signed Senate Bill 132 into law.
We had to transfer male inmates to female institutions. Oh, they were excited. They were like kids in a candy store because they knew they were going from a men's prison to a female's prison. And we would watch them take off in the bus.
So that's from a guard, okay? We can't, let's not pretend this isn't happening. And the trans activists out there, shame on you, okay? Now, I believe in human rights for everyone, but you can't push aside the rights for the majority of the people for the rights of one or two different people. I also knew this was going to happen. Now all of a sudden, all of these men are claiming to be trans because that's all you have to do in prison. You just have to say, I'm trans now. And maybe not even take hormones, but you get to actually go to the... Why are they buying tampons? Why are male inmates buying tampons? And why are tampons even in the male facility? This is... Wow, really? I mean, this is where you gotta say it's bullshit. It's actual bullshit. There is no way a transgender woman, a biological male, needs tampons. So there you go. And then he said they're buying muumuus, they're buying makeup, they're buying all kinds of stuff. When you're in prison... Isn't it supposed to be like you're not allowed to have any rights on some level? Of course, you have to have basic human rights, food and safety and sleep and all those kind of things. But why do you get rights to be this? This is a privilege. What I have here is a privilege. And when you mess up in the world and you go to prison, you don't get to have privileges anymore. That's why you're there. So that's the other thing that I don't understand. It's like this privilege to be this and then to be transferred to a woman's prison. That just should be off the table. What we should be doing is making segregation. If these people are in some kind of danger, which they possibly might be, then we should make different cells for these people. But to transfer them to a woman's prison is absurd, beyond belief. And here, let me show you why. So now I'm going to show you this. This is Amy. She's awesome. She was in a woman's prison, and then when she got out, she created an organization to help women. I think it's called Women to Women, and she's amazing, and she stayed in contact with a lot of the inmates, and she's the one who actually is helping to bring a lot of the information from the inside to the outside. I've become friends with Amy. In fact, I'll be doing an interview with her soon. But she's amazing and awesome, so listen to what she has to say.
During my incarceration, there was a policy that was just case by case. As there were safety needs for trans women or others, it was considered by a committee, and people trickled in, one here, one there. But in 2012, there was a convicted serial rapist who was transferred into the Central California Women's Facility in Chowchilla, California. And it was extremely traumatic for all women on all yards, because the betrayal, the abandonment, all of the feelings that women already are trying to recover from and heal from, they're being re-traumatized from the state.
So you see that? We forget that many women deal with SA. She just said it, many women in this prison system are dealing with a lot of trauma from SA. And then you put a man, okay, in the cell with the women, and what do you think is going to happen there? These are intact men who have created what is the most bizarre thing about all this? It seems like a lot of these trans women are serial rapists or have done really insane murderers, rapists, sexual assault people. They're not just, they haven't done just like petty crimes. They always seem to have done some insane stuff, and that deals with assault. So here you're putting these men in a system with women who already feel vulnerable and messed up. And then you just add this person in there who's aggressive, probably not even on hormones. Like, what is when you're not on hormones, you can still be functioning as a male, by the way. And that's one of the things that I have been hearing that's happening in there. Women are getting pregnant. There's tons of like sex going on in there. There's all kinds of stuff going on in there. Women are being abused and forced. And yeah, that's right. This is happening. Whether you believe it or not, it's happening. So I'm going to also show you this this other one. It's not the last one. This woman was also in prison and got her, here's the deal. These women are serving time. It's called time served. Okay, they did their crime, they served their time, they get out, but now they're being more traumatized by having these men come into the space and traumatize them. When you're in prison, you're supposed to be there because you did something bad, you're serving time, and when you get out, it's done. But why are they being abused this way? And why are we letting this happen? And what about this is a human right? That's what I want to know. What about this is a human right? And why is no one listening to the women? So listen to what she has to say here.
The transgender inmates started coming, I want to say during COVID. They were just slowly being incorporated into general population. We're getting the predators, people who have been incarcerated for rape, men who have been incarcerated for oral copulation, men who have been incarcerated for crimes against women. We were very nervous, angry. We weren't given a voice.
She says a couple very important things here, so I want to play the second part of this.
There was a one man who came and he wore pigtails and lipstick and pink shirts for the first 3 months. And after that, he cut his hair short, almost bald, and started wearing Levi's and white t-shirts to resemble a man again. Got a girlfriend, lived with her, and there was domestic violence there.
So you see, and you don't think that's happening? So all of a sudden in the men's prison, these men are women, and then their human rights are being violated, so they get to be transferred to a woman's prison. Once they get into the woman's prison, they stop looking like women. She just said it. Came in pink and ponytails and lipstick. Once they were there, they went right back to looking like a man and started having relations with another inmate in there, a woman. And that woman and them got into a relationship of domestic violence. And as we know, that happens a lot because that's a trauma-related thing. And a lot of people get back into those dysfunctional relationships because it's all they know. This is just so disturbing. I hope you're as disturbed as I am. This last piece I got was from, I think it's Senator Kennedy, grilling Sarah Netburn on why these particular trans women are being let into women's prison when their history is this.
Did he rape a 17-year-old girl or not after a 9-year-old boy?
I believe that's what he pled guilty to.
Okay, and then he went to prison, didn't he?
Yes, the petitioner was.
And then he came out and he sent child porn, basically adults, little children, to another sex offender. And he was sent back to prison, right?
The petitioner pled guilty to
Was he sent back to prison?
Well, that case was in the federal system, so.
Was he sent back to prison?
Yes, this time to federal prison.
Thank you. And then he decided to transition, and he became a female and started going by July Justine Shelby. Is that right?
Yes.
And Ms. Shelby said, I don't want to go to a male prison. I want to go to a female prison. And the Board of Prisons said, what planet did you parachute in from? You're going to a male prison with this kind of record. And you sent him to a female prison, didn't you? You said that the Board of Prisons was trying to violate Ms. Shelby, former Mr. McLean's constitutional rights, didn't you?
I issued a report and recommendation to the district judge recommending that the district judge transfer the petitioner to a women's facility.
That is a woman judge throwing women under the bus. She actually said that this serial offender, male, should be sent to a woman's prison after he did all of that insane stuff with kids and with... Is this really where we are? Is this really our system? Everyone's lost their minds. I don't care if you're trans. I don't care what you are. If you're an a-hole and you're committing this kind of stuff, especially against women, you don't get those rights. It is an actual gift to transition. Okay? It is not something that is owed to you, and you don't just get to do it and then abuse the system. That's literally what's happening. They're using trans to abuse the system and abuse women. I'm not okay with it. As a transsexual, it's disgusting. And it's wrong. It has nothing to do with being trans. You're in prison. You lose all your rights. You get food and water and sleep and maybe some exercise. Deal with it. But why are you getting everything else? You don't deserve that. You did that stuff to children. You're done. Get it together, people. Vote these people out. These people are the ones who are running our system. Women are suffering. Children are suffering. Actual, real transsexual people are suffering. If you and I don't come together on this, it's never going to end. Okay? I am willing to speak out against the sick trans agenda because I care. I actually care about you. I care about children. I care about myself. I care about humanity. And this is not humanity. This is something else. Before I leave, I just want to leave this little tidbit for you. Why are women who are transitioning in a woman's prison not asking to be transferred to a male prison? Think about it. Thank you all so much for watching. That was a really hard one for me. I just feel so passionate and so angry about the whole thing. So I hope I didn't come off too insane, but it just really upsets me. That being said, I just want to thank you all so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing and liking and doing all that stuff. And I'll see you guys all on the next one.